Hey everybody. How many of you are freelancers who are struggling to make the jump into self-employment? I'm sure probably a few of you are. So let's talk about 3 things the freelancers tend to do that will keep you stuck as a freelancer. And I know there are a few of you watching that will probably disagree with these and give me a thumbs down. I'd encourage you to give me the thumbs down, but also leave comments about your experience and why you don't agree with these thoughts. I truly believe that the best way for anybody to make an informed decision is to have different opinions and viewpoints and let them decide. Number 1, you don't treat it like a business. When I ask freelancers about their business, a common response is, "But I'm a freelancer. I don't have a business." And if you think of yourself as just a freelancer, this becomes a self-limiting belief that you will have to overcome if you want to make that transition into full-time self-employment. No long-term vision. It's tough to develop a plan if you don't have a long-term vision. Without well-defined goals, mission statements, and a rough business plan, it becomes tougher to make decisions. And the decisions you do make, they tend to be made reactively, and this can hinder growth. Lack of structure. Examples of this include not having well-defined business hours or communication processes. You have every right to build policies and procedures that work for you. It's much easier to say no to a client when you have company policies. For instance, I don't communicate with clients via text or work nights and weekends. They know my business hours, they know my turnaround time, and that we communicate via email, or if they really need to, we can schedule a meeting. These boundaries are key to me avoiding burnout and maintaining a healthy work-life balance. This lack of structure can also contribute to the next problem, which is being stuck in an employee mindset. It's so easy to bring your employee mindset to your freelance work, and this can easily lead to frustration, or worse yet, clients who don't respect you and your boundaries. Why would a client respect your boundaries if you don't? No one wants to feel like the client is their boss, and this can be a really difficult mindset to break. Hourly pricing. As an employee, you become so used to getting paid for your time that you don't realize this isn't the best method as a freelancer. Clients like predictability, and hourly pricing is the opposite of that. Charging hourly also puts a cap on your income potential since there are only so many hours in the day. Then you have the hourly penalty where you become less profitable as you become more efficient. And we'll come back to pricing in a couple minutes. But moving on. Number 2, not being smart with your money. This is something I see so many freelancers struggle with, and it all ties back into not treating it like a business. Businesses need to invest in themselves as well as the business. And this all starts by setting aside money to put back into the business. And in the early days, this might be a higher percentage as you work to get things off the ground. Building a nest egg. If you're working a full-time job and freelancing on the side, this should be pretty easy. Set aside everything that you can while working your full-time job. If you can put away 100% of your earnings, you can build this fund up pretty quickly on the side while you slowly build your freelance business. This will make it easy for you to build your nest egg to help you when it's time to make that leap. Your nest egg will also make it easier for you to have a safety net for those slow months or unexpected expenses. Give you funds to improve your business. Hardware and software upgrades. Attend networking events. Hire people to help you build your brand and lead gen strategies. hire people to help you build a great website. Essentially, you hire people to handle time-consuming tasks so that you can focus on building your business. And editors, does this sound familiar? It probably should, because it's probably what's on your website and what you're telling podcasters they should be doing. Undercharging. This really undermines your long-term plans. It can make it difficult to save money and invest in your business, or to be able to afford essential expenses like health insurance that you're more likely to need as a self-employed editor. When you undercharge, you enter a scary space where the only way to build your freelance gigs into a sustainable business is to take on more clients than you can handle, which means hiring contractors or employees. It depends on where you live and the laws, but if you're charging $100 per episode, you may struggle to find an editor who can do good work at a rate that will allow you to remain profitable. And when you undercharge, you tend to attract problem clients. You know, those demanding, never happy, always on a deadline type clients. At best, you'll attract bargain hunters who they're more likely to see you simply as a service provider and view the relationship as a transactional one. And one last tip, if you are carrying debt other than mortgage or maybe a car payment, it's going to be even tougher for you because you'll need to earn even more out of the gate. One of the best things that Tara and I did was to go debt-free about 15 years ago. I truly believe that we wouldn't be working in self-employment today if we were still carrying around credit card debt from being clueless kids. This brings us to number 3, getting stuck in the do-it-yourself bootstrap mentality. Do you do everything yourself? Does your website sit there begging for a refresh that never happens because you don't have the time? Is marketing on your to-do list, but you never really find time to get around to it? Your time is a limited and valuable resource, so you should try to make the best use of it that you can. When you allow yourself to remain in this bootstrap headspace, it limits your growth and your ability to scale. When you value money more than your time, you end up not having enough of either to build a sustainable business. And going back to number 2, if you have the money, you can buy time. Without the resources, you'll never get to where you want to be because you're dabbling in everything. You're not focused on anything but client work. Your marketing plan, your website, your lead generation strategies all get put on the back burner because you don't have the time. You don't have a team to help with all of the heavy lifting. And I get it. Most of us start off that way. I know Tara and I did. We didn't have a whole lot of startup capital, and we did everything ourselves other than legal stuff. It's a little bit easier for us because we already had the skill and experience. But still, we struggled to find the time to devote to everything that was important to running a business. This was the thing that Tara and I struggled with until we were presented with the gift of time by being furloughed during COVID. This gave us the time to really buckle down and build the foundation we needed to develop a successful business. And this is where being smart with your money really comes into play. Imagine that you've made the decision to make the transition in 6 months, maybe 12 months. Either way, you have a good runway to make sure your foundation is stable and giving you a 6 to 12 month window to get your marketing strategy started and start generating leads. You're not working 2 full-time jobs trying to make this happen because you have the luxury of being able to hire people to help spread out that load. So there we have it. 3 things that will make it difficult to build your freelance gig into a full-time business. We've met with freelancers who have struggled making this jump. Some of them are excellent at what they do, but one or more of these things hold them back. What's holding you back from leaving your job and becoming self-employed? Let me know in the comments below. And I'd also like to know what other business problems or questions you have. I'd like to help you solve them if I can. And if you're not sure what is holding you back, that's okay. Business is tough, and it can take time to gain the clarity that you need to decide who you want to work with or what you want to offer. Or you can talk to us. We help freelancers and creatives find their way forward. Maybe that's with branding, or maybe it's with building a roadmap for you to start building a lead generation machine. Or maybe it's helping you decide who you want to work with. You can find a link to Tansy Aster down in the descriptions below. Tara and I would love to talk with you. And as usual, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.